Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go through a beginner's strength workout. So this is going to be nice and simple, minimal equipment and no jumping around. So it should be fine for anyone with any knee problems. Right, so let's get into it with a little warm up first. So the first movement we're going to do is a stretch through your hip flexors, through your abdominals and into your shoulders. So step back with a reach. What we're going to do then is try and start with your feet together. We're going to step back just slightly with the right leg and I'm going to try and extend to reach back over the left shoulder. It's almost like you're trying to pass a ball to someone that's standing behind you, and then we're going to come back and switch sides. So left leg goes back, reach around over that right shoulder and back to the start. So the breathing goes inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Left foot comes back this time, reaching over the right shoulder. Big deep belly breath. Do 5 reps on each side. Next one we're going to do is some hamstring sweeps. So this is really just getting a bit of a stretch through your hamstrings. The key to this is trying to keep a fairly neutral lumbar spine. We don't want to see rounding of that lower back. All we're going to do this time is rest the front heel on the floor, slide your butt back, and then just kind of do this little sweep through with your arms. Step, slide, and sweep. Step, slide, and sweep. And as you reach down, you should feel a nice stretch back of the hamstrings, maybe even a bit down into the top of your calf as well. So again, we're going to do 5 reps on each side. Let's go. Again, we're not really trying to lean on the front foot, we're keeping the weight on the back leg this time, just resting that heel on the floor. Okay, so the next one we're going to go into is a reverse step or a reverse lunge with a rotation. So you don't necessarily have to go all the way down to the floor on this one. You do have the alternative. If you want to put a mat or a towel or something under the back knee, it might make it a little bit easier on the knees. So what we're going to do is take the left leg back. This time we're actually going to drop down into a lunge and we're going to rotate towards the front foot and back up. So this time right leg goes back, dropping the right knee down and rotate to the left. All right, let's go. 5 reps each side. Inhale. Exhale. Remember what I said earlier? Trying to really time the movement to the speed of your breath. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to add a little bit of lateral movement and a bit more rotation. So what we're looking for here is a nice step out to the side, lateral lunge, shifting my weight onto my right foot. I can allow my left toe to pivot here, and then I'm just kind of reaching away with my hands and back. And then we're going to switch sides. You can now keep those feet planted, shift the weight across to the left side. I'm going to take the pressure off the right foot. Reach away, inhale, exhale. Keeping that left leg straight, shifting all of the weight across, this time onto my left foot, right leg straight, and vice versa. Okay, so the next couple of moves, we're going to go down onto the floor, still continuing this warm-up. We're going to focus a little bit now on that chest and shoulder complex. So we're going to try to focus on stretching through the chest. So you should feel the stretch just here. If it feels like it's a bit too intense or a bit too much into the shoulder joint, what you want to do is actually bring the angle down closer to 90 degrees as opposed to up here. The higher you go, the more that stretch will tend to migrate into that shoulder. So what we're going to do is start off about 90 degrees with this left hand. So now my left shoulder here is still in contact with the floor. It's not lifting up, it stays down, and I can lift my fingers on my left hand too. So now I'm going to push with my right hand, I'm going to kick my right foot over, and I'm trying to reach up towards my left hand. I'm kind of keeping a bit of pressure down with this right hand here. So this is just holding the stretch. Make sure you keep breathing. 20 seconds. I'm going to come down, I'm going to switch hands. So I'm now going to bring my right hand down flat to the floor, right fingers up, left hand flat, and kick my left heel up towards my right hand. Okay, so hopefully you should feel like you've got a nice stretch through your chest. Now we're going to take it one step further and add some rotation into the shoulders, some extension into the hips as well. So we're going to start with the feet flat on the floor. My hands are behind with my fingers pointing back to the wall behind me. I want to think about opening my chest here, so pushing your sternum forward, pinching the shoulder blades together a little bit, and then I'm just going to come up into a hip extension and then sitting back down. So breathing in as you come up, open the shoulders, exhale as you come back down. When you're ready to inhale again, then you start the movement. Inhale up, should be a little pause at the top, then the exhale on the way down. 10 reps. Okay, we're nearly there. The final exercise in this warm-up phase is going to be the bird dog. Nice and simple, but I want to focus on my position here as I set up. So what I want to try and do is get my spine as close to horizontal as possible with a neutral spine here. So there should be a very slight curve in my lower back and my head should be in line with the rest of my body. Keep the belly button drawn in slightly towards the spine. Inhale up, extend the leg back, exhale back down. So hopefully you can see I'm not trying to lift my legs super high. All I'm trying to do here is extend the leg back. So I'm getting a glute activation here, but without really straining into my lower back, which can sometimes happen if you try and lift the leg too high. So think about pushing that heel into the wall behind you and lift the thumb up towards the ceiling. Now I've got my arm at about 45 degrees here. So if I show you from the front view here, arm comes out to about 45 degrees, thumb up. Inhale. Exhale. Okay guys, great stuff. So that's the warm-up done. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more energetic already. You should feel like you're breathing a bit deeper. Everything's just a little bit more mobile. All right, so we're ready to go into the first circuit of our strength routine here. So we're going to do 2 to 3 circuits of 4 exercises. So we're going to start with a marching bridge. Then we're going to go into a box squat or a chair squat. Then we're going to do some WY raises, and then we're going to finish with some dead bugs. Okay, so we start lying flat to the floor with your knees bent, feet flat, and then we're going to come up into a bridge. Now, I want you to feel like you're getting a good squeeze in your glutes, but there's no need to lift so high that you feel like your lower back is under a lot of tension here. So it should be a fairly straight line between your knees, your hips and your shoulders, as opposed to this kind of bowing movement here. So we're going to drop that down a little. Squeeze your butt. Slow transfer of weight from one foot to the other. Take your time on this one, nice and smooth. Again, you shouldn't be feeling this in the lower back. You should feel like it's all in your glutes. Might get a little bit of hamstrings in there as well. but try and keep those hips as level as you can. Nearly there. Last two. One. And finished. Alright, so moving on from the marching bridges, we're going to go into our box squats or chair squats right now. My feet are about between hip and shoulder width apart, whatever feels comfortable for you. My toes are slightly turned out to the sides. Now I'm going to get really close to my bench here, so my heels are actually touching the legs, and I'm going to bring my arms out in the front. Now I'm going to focus on keeping my chest up. I'm going to inhale down, exhale up, and I'm going to try and focus on actively bending those knees. So pulling myself down as slowly as possible to the bench. Exhale as I come up. If you do have a little weight, a small weight here, can actually help you keep your posture. We have this sort of counter movement with the dumbbell, or in this case the kettlebell. It can be a bottle of water or whatever you have lying around the house, small child, dog, something like that. Stretch that floor out with your feet, start with your kettlebell up at your chest, and as you start to pull yourself to the bench, you're going to push the kettlebell out in front, and it should feel like it's easy to kind of sit back onto those heels. Inhale. Pulling yourself down into the squat with those hamstrings. Chest stays nice and tall. Again, you can use the counterweight if you want. Don't have to, you can just use body weight. Remember, we're after slow tempo on this one. On the way down, a little faster on the way up. Almost there, 2 more reps. So next we're going to move into our WY raise. Okay, so face down. Lift my chest very slightly so my face is off the ground. Elbows come up, shoulder blades come in, and then reaching up into the Y. Slowly back down, trying to keep the height with the arms. Smooth breaths. Try and keep those shoulder blades pinched together. Two more reps. Right, straight over into Deadbox. Same start position as last time. Remember, the lower back needs to be flat all the time through the set. So, first thing we do, bring the feet up, knees up, tuck that tailbone, flatten your lower back into the floor, and then slowly down. One leg opposite arm. Again, 8 to 12 on each side. Slowly. Sometimes helps if you close your eyes on this one and really sort of get a sense of the pressure that's between your back and the floor. Nearly there, last couple of reps. Okay guys, well done that first circuit. We're going to move on to the second circuit now. And the first exercise is going to be chair supported RDL or Romanian Deadlift. Okay, so what we're going to do is have a slight bend on the knee. I'm going to initiate the movement by pushing my left heel back as if I'm doing a donkey kick into the wall behind me. And then I'm just going to rest my fingertips on the top of this box, or in your case your chair, and then you're going to slowly hinge forward from that right hip. Keep kicking that heel up, and come back down. Heel comes up and down. Slide those hips back. Try hard not to bend this standing leg too much. We've got a tiny little bend. It's unlocked, but we're not squatting here. And once you get really comfortable at this, you can do it obviously without the box or without the chair. Just bringing the arms out to the sides. But it's always good to have the chair just in case you do need it. We do 8 to 12 on each side again. Take your time on the way down, nice and slow and controlled again, just like those squats earlier. Come up a little bit faster, focus on squeezing the glute on that standing leg. I'm going to switch sides now. Again, soft knee on the left leg, grounding yourself into the floor, strong quads here. Right leg comes up, kicking that leg behind. Hinge from the left hip. Again, we're looking for neutral spine, nice and flat. Almost there. 2 more. Take your time. Again, it's not a race, we're trying to go as slow and controlled as we can. All right. Okay, great job guys. We're going to move on to a single arm bent over row next. Use a small weight. Doesn't have to be very heavy. And we're going to focus again on nice slow tempo, especially on the way down this time. So I'm going to hinge from my hips, slide the butt back. Again, nice neutral spine here. Again, slight bend on the knees. I'm just going to rest my fingertips on the bench and I'm going to focus on this right arm coming up and back. Kind of pulling towards my hip as opposed to pulling to my shoulder. What we want is the back to work and not just the biceps here. So we actually want to pull to the hip, draw that shoulder blade back. And again, slowly on the way down, more time under tension, remember. How's that feeling? Just notice where you're feeling this movement. Because we're in this bent over position, you probably are going to feel some work happening in that lower back into your mid back and hopefully around the shoulder blade on the working arm. Alright, so we're going to switch sides, do the same on the other side. So this time I'm just going to show you without the box. So again, if you can do this without the box. It just gives you a little bit more work to do in terms of your stability here. But the focus is the same. I'm just going to rest my right hand on my right hip and pull that shoulder back. So as I row, as my left elbow comes up, I can feel a little bit of a squeeze between those shoulder blades again. Exhale as you pull, little squeeze. Nice, slow inhale, controlling the weight all the way down. We don't want to let gravity take over, otherwise we're not doing the work anymore. Again, noticing how this side feels. You might find that you've got one arm that's a little bit stronger. It's perfectly normal. Just work to the limitations of your weaker side. So if you can only do 10 on the left, only do 10 on the right. All right, nice job. Up into your tall plank position. Nice flat position. We don't want to let the hips come up too high and we don't want to let them sag down below. So core tight, squeeze your butt. Nice and slow, reach, grab the kettlebell, pull through to the other side. Switch hands, reach through, pull to the other side. Now even if your weight is not particularly heavy, you can make this harder just by taking it through a little bit further. So you have to reach under a little more, bring it through. Reach under, bring it through. Okay guys, well done. Great job on completing that workout. Hopefully you managed a couple of sets of each of those circuits. Let me know below. I'd love to know which exercise you found the easiest, which ones you found the most challenging. Let me know how many sets and reps you did and see how you can progress and beat it as you go along into the next few weeks. Don't forget to stretch out after your workout, so feel free to check out one of my other videos on your stretching routines. And again, make sure you like this video if you found it useful. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well so you'll get to know whenever I release my latest videos. Alright guys, stay well, and I'll see you in the next one.